what gender do you assume? Why? What does that mean? Why should you assume a doll fits with a girl? I also want to ask this question. Gentlemen, in this room, how many of you have heard a statement like this? Don't cry. Crying is for girls. 1, 2, yeah, there we go. Ladies, how many of you have heard this? Let the men carry that. They're stronger. Why? Why do we assume that men are stronger than women? Why do we assume that crying is just for girls? That's what my TED Talk is on today. Why are there different expectations for men and women? You see, when men are young, they're taught to suck it up. They're taught that crying is supposed to be for girls. They're supposed to be stone-faced in the face when they're faced with love. They're supposed to be stone-faced when they're faced with emotion. But why is that? This is a video that I found a few weeks ago, which is ultimately why I kind of based my TED Talk around what I based it on. I saw this video on Instagram, and it's a video of a kid doing karate, okay? And so in the video, he goes to punch a board, and he doesn't break it. And he starts crying. But what is interesting is, rather than the karate instructor, who is this man right here, he tells the kid, usually when like a kid is, crying, when a boy is crying like that, people tell him to suck it up and just get over it and just to punch the board again. But this man does something different. He asks the child, why is he crying? He encourages a conversation, which is something that I feel in our society today, not a lot of people do. When boys start crying, they just assume to suck it up and they have to keep going and fight through it. But why do we do that to boys? Boys should be taught from a young age to, face their emotions and to embrace them head on. We shouldn't teach them to just push them to the side and assume that they'll get better. I was reading an article about teenage suicide, and in that article, I found this quote. It says, almost half of all those who died had been diagnosed with major depression, and half of all suicide victims had reported a significant interpersonal conflict in the fortnight before their death. These are major difficulties to deal with at such a young age. That is something that I could not agree more with. You see, I'm not saying that all of these people took their lives because they had just one major problem, but what if they tried to reach out to people and nobody listened? What if these people tried to confide with people and have other people listen to them, but people just told them to shake it off because they just need to suck it up and get over it? No one should have to deal with that. Am I right?
Yes.
So, on to my next point. Being taught that there's a difference between men and women starts at a young age, as I said before. And so, when we think of pink for a newborn baby, what color do we assume it to be? And for blue, what gender do we assume it to be? Exactly. But why? What makes pink different from blue? What makes you think pink should be a girl's color and boy should be a boy's color? Or blue should be a boy's color? It makes no sense to me. Why can't I like pink as a guy and why can't girls like blue? So, as many of you know, I'm an active member of the theater company here at Kanzinger. At least I would assume that most of you.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. But many of you may not know that I also play basketball here since I was in 7th grade. That is, up until last year. You see, last year we brought in a new coach and I thought he was a great guy. But unfortunately the program moved to a place where I didn't think I could contribute anymore. And so I made the decision to stop playing. And so I'm going to tell a story. So we had a meeting last year that was kind of to figure out where the program was going to go over the summer and how we were going to approach this year. And so we all kind of met up, and before the meeting was going to start, we were all talking about how the season's going to go next year and how excited everybody's going to be. And so people asked me, they're like, are you ready to be a senior leader? Are you excited? And I was like, guys, I'm not sure if I'm going to play next year, And they were like, why? And I was like, the program's moving in a place that I don't think I can fit in. I don't think I can provide all the necessary time that I need to because I am involved in a lot of other things. Now, I think this is a pretty good answer, but I was asked again, what could be more important than basketball? Why wouldn't you play, basketball is this great sport? And I was like, well, I'm also an active member of the theater, of the theater group here. And they were like, said, dude, why would you stop playing basketball to do theater? That's so gay. Why would you say that? Why that word? Why is not playing basketball gay? Why is doing theater gay? Why do we immediately assume that doing theater involves being gay? I don't understand that. Number two, why shouldn't I do what I love? I mean, it just makes no sense to me. I should be allowed to do whatever I feel like I want to do. I shouldn't be held back because doing theater is considered unmasculine. Why is theater considered unmasculine? It doesn't make sense to me. See, I found another quote in another article, and it says, losing it. It says, boys involved in extracurricular activities such as music, art, drama, and foreign languages report higher levels of school engagement and get better grades than other boys. But these cultural activities can often denigrate as unmasculine by pre-adolescent and adolescent boys. So why is that? Why, if these kids that are doing drama, doing art, playing music, speaking Spanish, why is it considered unmasculine to do this if they're doing better in school? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why shouldn't we encourage these activities that means our students are being better in school? I understand that, it's hard to, not everybody's fit for theater. I get that. Not everybody likes to get up on stage and, talk in front of a big crowd. Honestly, I don't like speaking in front of a big crowd always, especially like right now. I'm terrified right now. So many of you. And theater is a little bit different than this, but not much. But not everybody's fit for it, and I get that. But still, why is it considered unmasculine? What's the difference between playing basketball and dancing? There's no difference. It's still there's still athletics involved. It's just a different form. So why is one considered something for girls and one considered something for guys? Also, there are a lot of male actors out in this world. So I don't understand how acting in theater is different from acting in a movie. It's the same thing to me, in my opinion. But still, theater is considered unmasculine. So what we need to, I'm not saying that we need to stop playing sports. All guys need to stop playing sports. But what we do need to do is we need to fix this problem, right? Don't, do what you want to do is basically what I'm saying, Girls, if you want to play basketball, but people are saying, oh, that's for guys, don't listen to them. Do what you want to do, okay? You shouldn't be bogged down by people saying that, oh, this is for girls and oh, this is for guys. Do whatever you feel makes you happy. That's the ultimate goal in life, isn't it? It's to be happy. And so if playing basketball makes you happy, go for it. If doing theater makes you happy, go for it. You do whatever you want to do.